wanted to welcome you all and thank you for signing up for the course. It's a powerful course. Claudia and I have done a lot of work on ourselves over the years, and Claudia has continued to do lots of work and then created lots of programs and different ways of connecting with our own awareness and finding out that our thoughts aren't really who we are, believe it or not. So I'm sure she'll uncover that with us as we move forward. But I just wanted to, welcome you and also just show you quickly. I can't share, Claudia, because I've made you the host. But
I can share it. Continue talking and I prepare it.
Yeah, so I've actually created a private group on the forum for this course, and it's really there. Claudia will share it with you when she finds it. It's really there just for you to share any observations, any challenges you have, any questions throughout the week or at any time, and then Claudia will pop in.
Stella, where is it?
There we go. So if you click on groups at the top there. Yeah. I think I've put most of you. I don't think I put Helen in and Eva because I couldn't find Eva. That's it. So there you go. There it is. It should be a private group.
It is, I think, when you go in it though.
Oh, is it? Okay, I need to change that.
One bit, I think it
is anyway, it is a private group. When I come off, I'll make sure it's private. So there's the members that you're all. I've put most. I think all of you. If we just click on members there, Claudia, please. So it's just a way to interact, really. There you go. So Helen, I'll add you, and then Eva when we connect with her. So not everybody will be able to come to the weekly session. Some people will view the recording afterwards, and if you can, I suggest you are present at the weekly sessions because it's your chance to really interact and ask Claudia questions. But like I say, throughout the week, if you feel that you want to share anything with your fellow attendees, or you have any questions for Claudia or me, just put them in there and we'll respond there. So it's just the easiest way to collate the information. So you can stop sharing now, Claudia.
Yeah.
So have you all received the link with the journal?
Yep.
You've all got that. Okay, good. Okay. So I will now bow out gracefully.
Stella, who is teacher's iPhone?
That's me. Sorry, I'm trying to see if I can get.
Helen is a teacher, that's why.
Don't say that I'm a teacher. I'm not.
What kind of teacher are you, Helen?
I'm not an IT teacher.
You're not an IT teacher. There you are. We can see you now.
Right.
Luckily, you're not an IT teacher.
No, I'm not. I'm definitely not an IT teacher. Hello.
Hello there. That's cool. And Ava is also coming, so that's perfect.
Oh, have you got Ava in now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have I got?
Perfect.
Sorry, just.
So you can try.
Okay, I can hear another one. I can hear someone else. Okay.
Hello, Ava.
Okay. Ava will join. All right, I'm going to leave you. Hi, Ava.
No, sorry, some technical issues. Apologies.
That's it. That's okay.
I need to put my other computer on mute. So I'm going to go on mute. Okay, because I have two things going on.
Okay.
Right.
Lot happening.
That's me. That's my fault. Shush.
Okay. Helen, maybe you can put yours on.
I am. I'm trying. Sorry.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Hey.
Sounds like we're in some Twilight Zone. All right. Okay, I'm going to bow out. Have a wonderful session. Leave you in Claudia's capable hands, and I'll catch up with you next week. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye, Stella.
Bye.
All right. A wonderful good evening. It's an honor and a pleasure going on this detox, a different detox, a mental and emotional detox. I invite open conversations. Yes, today we are going to get some introduction. We're going to also meet each other, and we're going into more detail about the topic. And I'll give you a little bit of context about how these 4 or 5 sessions, the 4 weeks actually running. So I ask you at any time to ask questions. It's wonderful that we're actually a small group, so we can actually have some lively engagements, conversations. And yeah, it's wonderful to go on this journey together, because I must admit, most people are not very aware how their thoughts and their beliefs actually run their lives. Most people are just showing up every day, not knowing what's actually happening and why they're doing what they're doing. And then they're wondering why maybe their lives is not the way they wanted, or in some parts, lives are falling apart, or there are patterns which are reoccurring, always the same issue coming up, but just in a different way. So we want to go on a journey of discovery. But before we go into it, I thought I would share a few words about myself. For those who don't know me, Shirley, I know we already met, I think, twice. As I said, my interest started a long time ago when I was about 18, 19. I was always fascinated why I do what I do. And I realized that everything starts with a thought. A thought creates an impulse, and I act on it. So I thought to myself, there must be some ways of actually, understanding my thoughts, and maybe if they are not the thoughts I want, I can maybe learn to change them. So I went on a journey for 30 years, and I discovered so many, things about myself, which has been an incredible journey. And as a result of many journeys I've been on, I created some powerful programs. And this really, this is an experience for you. It's a framework. I created a framework, but the value, for you is about your own experience, because we all have our own interpretation. We are very unique, and the way we accept information into ourselves, the way we show up in the world is so unique to us all. I ask you to be very open-minded. You don't have to believe anything I say. Do challenge, do query, be present. It's your time. It's a powerful gift you are giving yourself to invest time and awareness in your own self. It's a gift, and it can open an incredible journey for yourself. I do ask you to become aware of your reaction to situations when we have a discussion. Just be mindful how you react, what your emotions are, how you feel, because what you will discover is your reactions will help you to understand yourself much better. The power in all of this, what we are doing is you are allowing yourself new awareness, and the more awareness we gain, the more open we become for choices. Awareness creates choices. It's really, you are empowering yourself. You may notice that I repeat myself, and that's done purposely because as we go along the program and as we deepen our understanding and our awareness, we see and hear things differently. So you will see things from different angles. That's the whole process. Now, before I start, I would love for each of us to introduce yourselves, your name and maybe where you are based right now, and really what made you to show up tonight, and what do you expect from that 4 weeks? Just a general conversation. Would that be okay?
Yeah,
Who would like to start?
I'll start.
Fantastic. I like that. Good.
My name's Helen. I'm actually Stella's cousin. And I'm a teacher, a secondary school teacher. I'm an art and design teacher. And I think that over the last quite a few years, I've struggled with myself, my thoughts, becoming reality, lots of challenges in life, personal stuff, losing people, bereavement, all that sort of stuff. And I just think that we sort of go through life without really not thinking, I don't want to use that word all the time, thinking, but going through life, acting upon our thoughts maybe, or thinking their realities and believing you're one thing when you're really not that person. And I think you're conditioned to think that you are that person. And it can be quite detrimental because you can be quite negative about it. And you're on a pathway for such a long time without really becoming aware. And what you're saying is, I want to become more aware. And I want to be able to kind of eliminate these things that kind of control me and put me on a particular path where I don't want to be. So I just think I don't know, I think I'm very open to it. I don't know how much, hopefully I can understand or I will become connected to it. I don't know if I can, but I'm open to it. And I'm really grateful to be able to have this chance to do that with you. So
Helen, that's beautiful what you say, and you are at the right place.
Thank you.
It is so beautiful. That's exactly what it's all about.
Okay.
And you know what I particularly like what you said, I'm open. And that's the key. The more willingness we are giving ourselves to be open, the more we can actually receive. And then we have still a choice whether we want to take it on as our reality or not. That's at least we're allowing ourselves a new awareness to come in to empower ourselves with thoughts. So Helen, thank you very much. Where are you based?
Thank you. I'm based in London, North London. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I go next?
Yes, Eva.
So I'm Eva, and I'm also based in London. And when I heard your talk, I just heard this light bulb in my head. It was like, hallelujah. Finally, somebody can explain me what I've been trying to do in baby steps myself with quite limited success. And I'm using this lockdown to do an inner journey to improve how I go about my life. And we're always going to have difficult situations, it's unavoidable. But I'm trying to learn ways to deal with them. And I do small things like, my gratitude journal in the morning. When I'm having a better game of golf, I tap myself. I'm a great golfer. I'm a great golfer. I'm a great golfer. But it gives me very limited success, those small things. So I'm looking forward to have a more of a systematic approach to actually move past where I am now. Kind of a step towards self-mastery. I see it as a self-mastery, really. Something we haven't been taught in schools. advanced degrees, but I don't know about self-mastery.
Yeah, it's fascinating, Eva. We learn so much at school, but actually we learn nothing about our own selves. Exactly. And we have to live with our own selves for the whole life. So again, Eva, it's wonderful to know you are in the right place.
Shall I go?
Yes, Nikki.
Hi, I'm Nikki. I live in Essex. I've come along to a couple of your sessions that Stella's done on the Saturday, so I've been really interested in the types of things that you talk about. Probably a bit like Eva. I suppose this last year has changed lots of things for people, but 2 years ago as well, I got made redundant. Though I was quite happy. I took a redundancy from a company that I'd been at for 18 years, and I loved my job and I liked it, but I think ever since then, I've been thinking, oh, what's the next chapter of my life and what am I going to do? And I've done some work and I've done some courses, and then because of the lockdown, you're in more and you're thinking about things. And I suppose I'm interested as well of like learning a little bit about, well, what do I want in the next chapter of my life? And rather than thinking, like you say, about what you learn at school, I went to school and then I did my exams and I did a qualification for my job, and it was all very much this pathway to like getting a good job, getting this and that. Whereas now it's like, yeah, I've done that, and it's now, well, what do I want to do next? But I must admit, I'm also at a confused crossroads because I don't actually know career-wise or anything what I want to do next. So I feel that I'm still plodding along a bit because I can't think of what I want to do next.
And that's not, confusion is always good, because in the state of confusion, there is new energy, new creativity emerging. So hold that.
Okay.
Excellent, Nikki. Looking
Thank
forward.
you.
Fantastic.
Sure.
Shirley or Sally, who would like to go?
I don't mind going next. I think I'm a bit of a mixture of what everybody said at the moment. I've been on a bit of a journey, lots of issues, past issues from childhood that I think have, I suppose, prevented me from initially doing what I wanted to do, and then I finally get to do what I want to do, and then end up kind of, I suppose I was made redundant, if you like, in my self-employment, and then end up doing something I don't really want to do. And I just want to find, I suppose, that inner strength, that awareness, that I did some intention setting with Claudia, which was really good, and I think it's just a step on from that to, I'm just open to learning anything that'll help me become more aware of myself and my abilities and have that confidence again to move on to do what I want to do with my life, really.
Wow. Shirley, we are in
And I'm from Stockton-on-Tees.
What did you say?
I'm saying I'm from Stockton-on-Tees in the northeast.
Okay.
Great. Thank you, Shirley. And Sally.
Oh, hi. I'm Sally. I live near Colchester in Essex. I think the last year has, I've spent an awful lot of time on my own. I live on my own, and I've been running a business for someone else, but looking after my team remotely. And I think I've become quite tunnel vision to survive. And I think what I want to do is try and open up again. I feel like I've kind of in lockdown, I've become quite survival mode, and that is kind of means that I've become quite habitual in the way that I do things, and it's just been about survival, really, in my kind of deep down level, I think. And I just want to kind of explore coming out of this, like flowering almost.
And you can flower by detoxing some of those, beliefs which are holding you back in order to create new ones. And that's exactly what we are going to do over the next 4 or 5 weeks. Thank you very much. Let me just briefly outline some guidelines so that we have a common understanding here. We want to show respect when others are speaking, because sometimes in that sort of setting some emotional aspects can be shared So we just want to hold space without, speaking over somebody. So no cross talk or interruptions. And also, what's really important is that we are not here to give advice, because we all have our answers within ourselves. We just need to have space to actually sit with our own self, so that we can actually feel an emergence of new awareness coming to us. And we would like to respect confidentiality in that group. I think that's okay, isn't it? Are we okay with that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so let us go straight into the course. The journal, or the workbook, whatever you want to call it, has been designed in such a way that you can print out only, inverted commas, the days we work on. So I don't know whether you have done it, or maybe you have printed out the whole workbook, but it's been designed in such a way that you can just print out the various days. If you haven't done that, so you may want to do it. So the workbook has been designed in such a way that this is not a typical course where I give where I'm a teacher and give long sessions about the topic. I will introduce the topic and share key aspects, but the value of this course is to actually do the daily exercise, because that will really help you to self-reflect. And through a process we are going through every time when we meet, you will deepen your understanding following that week. We are going to look at 4 specific areas. The first week we look at our beliefs, and which beliefs are very powerful, because they are essentially giving us our identities, and that's why this is the first part of the program. We then start to look at our habits. Why do we do things? A lot, habits come, sneak in over a period of time, and then suddenly they are part of our daily lives, and we never look at them, and we wonder why we do certain things all the time without actually being aware of it. We also look at our emotions in week 3, and in week 4 we want to gain clarity of what we want more in our lives. To your point, Nikki, what is it I want more in my life? But we're doing this, we are creating what we want more of in our lives, from an understanding what actually is holding us back. Because what often the certain workshops is about, yes, create your new life, but you haven't actually understood what keeps you back. You cannot build something on something when something is actually holding you back. So we look at our subconscious, what is actually holding us back, so that we can actually transform those beliefs, i.e. detox our beliefs. This ebook or this journal is designed so that you actually, if you want it, you don't need to print it out. You can fill in the days on a computer as well. However, there is something very powerful in writing, very powerful, because your brain recognizes, is much more engaged. I mean, for example, I do every morning journaling, and the messages I receive are so much more powerful, because it's really, you are physically writing. There is something very powerful on it. So I encourage you to print it out, but if you prefer to do it on your computer, that's obviously fine as well. Now, the program has been designed so that you really only need to spend a minimum of 5 minutes a day, ideally a little bit more, but I'm very aware when we start that work, we don't want to start with a huge commitment, because then it's likely that we are putting, that we are starting something and then we are putting it aside because our mind is not trained to actually overcome our limitations. So it's a minimum of 5 minutes, and I think anybody who has got that interest to really understand oneself more and to become free of what holds us back will have that time. And it's very simple, and there is not a lot of preparation to be done for, on the daily basis. So let me just check my notes without. Yeah. What I said, what I would like to share with you is that it is really a journey of self-inquiry, of self-observation, and really it is getting to know yourself better. That's really what it is. And it is the gift, it's an incredible gift to yourself and to people around you, to your families and to your community. The moment we understand ourselves, the moment we know how we react to circumstances, the moment we empower ourselves to take choices. And that's the key of it. The program, so each week, is designed in 2 parts. The first part is about the topic and to really understand yourself better given that topic. And then the second part of the week is to actually give you the opportunity to start to make empowering changes. We can only change when we know what we want to change. Often we don't even know that we want to change something, or we only feel we want to change something, but we don't know what it is. So we will uncover that. When we remain limited in our own thoughts, and that's really what happens, what happens. This is what is habit. This is what we do every day. We are becoming at a point in our lives very limited the way we see things. And the beliefs are usually very repetitive. The self-talk becomes always the same, and it can get a little bit disheartening if it's negative self-talk. So our life is confined, and we want to understand that so that we can actually change that self-talk. So yeah, what we want to do is at the end of our hour together, you will leave today so that you have a plan in place how you are going to structure the 7 days. I want to set you up so that you don't have to start thinking tomorrow morning, how do I do this? What is happening? So you will be very clear so that you can easily start tomorrow morning to get going. How does that sound?
Yeah, good.
Great. As I said, anytime, it's wonderful that we are a small group. Anytime you have a question, raise your hand so that we have a good conversation.
Great.
Have I explained the workbook? Is there anything else you would like to know in terms of the concept of the workshop? Is there anything missing right now? Shirley, you are looking up. Is there anything you would like to ask?
No, fine. I'm just looking at my workbook and as well.
So that's clear, yeah? So what we will do is now, we are now having a little bit of a deeper look into the subject of week 1. Week 1 is a subject of beliefs. Now, we want to understand how we empower ourselves to change outdated beliefs, but actually, before we can change anything, we need to know what our beliefs are. And, you know, if you think about this, just to become aware of your beliefs, it is such a powerful observation for oneself, because the beliefs are actually shaping our identity, who we are. Now, what is a belief? Let us start with in simple terms. A belief is a firm thought that something is true. And that's all what it is. A belief is a firm thought that something is true. Now, the point here is that what is true for you may not be true for myself. And why is that? Because beliefs are coming from a place of the past, of conditioning. And we all have different conditions put in place by our upbringing. So essentially, that's why life is very messy, because so often we say, I believe this, my belief is. That means that we simply have made something mean true to us. And that's why beliefs can clash, because what is true for me may not be true for you. As I said, our beliefs are based on conditioning, and conditioning is based on our upbringing, on the environment. Now imagine, we all have different upbringings. And if you now add different cultures to it, then you can see how complex humanity can become. Now, what is fascinating is that we take on our beliefs of the world as we see it at an early age, around the age of 6. That's when we take on our beliefs, as far back as that. So if you can start to think around, if you have any remembrance about your early childhood, you will, if you are aware, you will see how beliefs are showing up in your adulthood. Now, I'll give you an example, and that relates to me. It's quite fascinating. My mother, she worked, my father worked, and so I had somebody who looked after me. And every day when I was brought to the person who looked after me, my mother would say, be a good girl. Be a good girl. So I was dressed properly, and I always had to be polite, be a good girl, do this, do that. Now, this be a good girl syndrome has actually been with me even in my career as a successful, high-profile senior executive. I was always this person, this executive, who wanted to be good in front of everybody. So I would do things which, now I'm thinking, totally because of my conditioning. So this being a good girl syndrome is something which I took on from a child. Now, the interesting part of all of that is that whilst we are taking on our conditioning, and our conditioning is creating our character, is actually happening at a time of our evolution, whilst we are totally dependent on others, on our parents, on our family. I.e., what I'm saying is, at that early age, we have not the capability to distinguish whether this is right or wrong. We are just literally taking things on. So our conditioning is the basis for our beliefs. And as we know, as we become, as we mature, there are certain beliefs which are no longer relevant at a certain time of our lives. Beliefs, now this is the interesting part. Beliefs shape who we are. It's our identity. And our identity is very precious to us because that is a projection of how we show up in the world. It's our self-concept, and our self-concept gives us that validity to be who we are. So you can see it becomes quite complex, this belief. And let me share with you something which and I know that Shirley and Nikki, you have been listening on, when you were in one of the sessions. But what is happening is, let us look a little bit about the subconscious. Our subconscious is like an iceberg, and I want to share that with you because it's quite helpful if we can see it. Again, hold on, I share it. Just trying to give you. So our subconscious is like an iceberg. Now, this is the key. As we know, an iceberg, we can only see 1/3 of it. And the 2/3 is underneath the water, which we can't see. Now, the 1/3 is how we show up in the world, but the 2/3 is actually that is programs running constantly. Another way of seeing this is, applications. It's like a computer. I mean, the apps are constantly running in the background. You can't see them, but they are still there, and they are taking information from you without you being aware. And that is actually the same with our beliefs. They are there, they are running you, but you are actually not aware of it. Now, this is a very powerful sort of consideration. This up here is the behaviors. That's how we show up in the world. But what is underneath, what we can't see, what is the subconscious, is our thoughts, our feelings, our values, the expectation we have, our yearnings. So there is so much happening underneath the water, which we are not aware of. And during our time together, we want to uncover the 2/3 of what runs us without us knowing. Because we want to allow ourselves to take or to allow awareness in order to create change for ourselves. Now, the subconscious is the garden of the mind where everything grows. However, we don't usually attend to our garden. The more time we would spend looking at the garden, finding out what is growing, reading it out, the more joy, the more peace we would have access to. And that's really what we are going on that journey together. Any questions? Yes, Nikki?
It's sort of quite funny that you use that sort of metaphor type of thing, because in the last year, one of the things I have done is a horticultural course, and I've really got into gardening and spending time out there, finding it so relaxing. But probably 20 years ago, I hated gardening.
Yes, yeah,
But
because
it's fascinating to watch little things grow now and all that.
exactly.
It's an age thing.
Exactly. And that's exactly with our subconscious. You know, the more we attend to it, the more we can let that grow what we want in our lives.
Can I just say something?
Of course.
I just think we harp on the negative so much that the things that we really need to nurture, and as you say, when you use that comparison, it's so clear when you're saying it, and it's so obvious when you're saying it, but I just find that it's the hardest thing to do. To really care about yourself and really tend to all the things that are really important. You just don't do it. And this is why this is so important for us, all of us, to do what we're doing today, really, on this course. I just think we just so, I don't know, I just think we just put everything. I don't know about anyone else, but I do as a person always go, well, I'm not good enough at this. I'm not doing this well enough. I'm not, and I never see what I really need to really nurture, all the good things about me or who I am or whatever. So I don't know if anyone else feels the same way. Is it frozen?
Yeah. I suppose it's so, I think as well, a lot of people say things that the way we live now, and I think there's such a hectic lifestyles that people live compared to, you know, so many years ago, that there is that challenge that is, you know, you don't have time to nurture yourself, because actually a lot of people say they don't have time to just about eat, you know, the day is so full, but really then are you doing anything that well? Is it probably best to step back and only do some things well than try and do everything, because you can't do everything.
No.
Sally wanted to say something. Sally?
Yeah, I just think that I'm fascinated by the subconscious. I have been for a long time, but I do find that I'm never sure whether I can trust it.
Ooh.
Well, I don't, you know, because I'm not sure it's in sync with where I think I want to be, and that creates quite a few issues.
Yes,
for me.
And Sally, that's a good point, because in the subconscious, programs are running, and you know, these programs may not have the best interest at heart. So your heart, you know, your soul, your heart may want this, and your subconscious says, oh, no, you know, you are not good enough, or whatever the trick is. Yeah. So we want to become aware of it. We want the subconscious, we want to learn about our subconscious, so that we can say, okay, I hear you, but you stay over there. I follow my heart. That's really what we want. Yes, Eva.
I have a question about self-delusion, because I sometimes think I have worked on myself on erasing a belief that has not served me. But then, if I'm really honest with myself, it's still there. And that is because I am not going deep enough in the right? And okay.
Yes. I mean, this work, you know, we have to recognize that certain things are very deeply ingrained. So we have to also, and that's why I, you know, said some sort of, I want us to be very, you know, open and confidential, because sometimes we need to dig a little bit deeper into it, just to be, you know, to be honest to ourselves, because it's very easy to gloss over and say, oh, no, but actually, you know, the program is still running, and we will look at that, or you will discover that. And the beauty about this process is you can go as deep as you wish. You can share as much or as little as you wish. For me, it's very important that that you have full control over whatever you want to get out of it. It's, you are empowering yourself in whatever form and way it's good for you. Be honest to yourself when you do the exercise. Be honest to yourself, because if you're not honest to yourself, who do you want to be honest to? So honor that. Honor yourself enough to be honest to yourself. It's only for you. There is no, if you don't want to share something, there is absolutely, we are doing this as much as you like to share or not. So let us go into week 1. So we are talking about I am what I believe. Now, it's simple. Yes, if I believe this, then obviously my actions are that. We can change whatever we believe, we can change. It's amazing. We have free will in this world. Nobody tells us what to think, what to believe, what to do. The problem is we are actually doing certain things because of all the conditionings we carry with us. But nobody says that we have to carry these conditions, this conditioning. We can leave it. So this week 1 is about really taking 4 or 5 minutes and looking at a limiting belief. It can also be an ordinary, any belief, but actually the purpose is to understand your limiting beliefs. I'm not good enough, or whatever it is, because you want to change them, or we want to change them into empowering beliefs. So what is a really good hint is when you get irritated about a person or a situation, always check out what belief is actually governing your reaction. It's fascinating. The moment you have a reaction to anything, there is a belief. And also another way to find out and dig deeper into your beliefs is about your self-talk. What do you say to yourself? There is a belief behind it. And what I would like to encourage you is don't believe everything what you believe. Don't. You don't have to. Nobody says so. Don't believe everything what you believe. And also, when you do this exercise this week, refrain from criticizing or judging yourself. This is not about putting yourself down. This work is about freeing yourself, about being honest to yourself, and really being curious about yourself. And remember, you have given yourself a gift to really, it's a journey getting to know yourself. And this is the most exciting journey you can embark on, because you are with yourself your whole life, and no better way to spend time with to understand one's own self. So I encourage you, like we said, stay curious about your own self and just enjoy discovering who you are, who you truly are. And there is so much power, wisdom within yourself. You will see the jewels you will find. So on week 1, on day 1, 2, 3, and 4, you want to write down limiting beliefs. So, you know, one limiting belief is I don't have any time for myself. Okay. Now, don't judge, just write it down. No, I'm not good enough, or what, I mean, there's so many beliefs you will recognize suddenly when you spend a little bit of time with yourself. Then, you know, we all have quite a few limiting beliefs. So I encourage you to write down at least one, but if you can, think a little bit more. Just have interest in your own self. What do you say to yourself day in, day out? So we do this on day 1, day 2, day 3, and day 4. By day 5, we start to shift. We now know what we believe, and if it's reoccurring beliefs, don't worry, just write it down. Write down whatever comes. Don't spend too much time in thinking, is this now the right belief or wrong belief? It doesn't matter, just write it down. On day 5, 6, and 7, what we do is we turn your negative belief about yourself into a positive statement and affirmation. So, for example, I don't have the courage to start going to the gym. I'm just making something up. So you want to turn this into a positive statement and affirmation. I embrace and stand for courage to sign up for this new course or whatever. Doesn't matter. So we want to start acknowledging our belief and now turning it into a positive statement and to an affirmation. Now, an affirmation is always in the present tense, as if it already has happened. That's an affirmation. So that's very important. So start with 1 or 2 affirmations, and again, don't overwhelm yourself. Instead, always remember it's a journey and stay in a place of empowerment. Don't overwhelm yourself, because that's not, then the belief kicks in and I'm not good enough. So it doesn't make sense. And just embrace the different facets of who you are, because that's life. You know, we are colorful creatures. So enjoy, just enjoy finding the colors, the who you truly are, and bring it to your awareness, so that you allow yourself to pick and choose what you would like to take with you as you move forward into into a new stage of life, or into into the future. Maybe that's the right way of saying it. So what I would like to ask you is just to have a little conversation. We have 5 more minutes approximately. How will you structure your day tomorrow so that you know you will do, you can commit yourself to this, 5-10 minutes of self-reflection? What do you need to do to prepare yourself? Shirley.
I think for me, I'm just thinking I've got a notepad, and all it has it's for a to-do list. I just think it's quite small to carry about with me, and then if I feel as if I'm having one of, a belief moment, I can write that down, because I think if I leave it till the end of the day, there'll be things I'll miss because I'll have got distracted with other things, and that moment will have passed. So I think if I can write them down as they happen, because I don't have to do anything with it, just write it down, and then I can consider it later on.
That's great. Yeah, you don't have to do anything with it. You just have to become aware of it. That's all. Just fantastic. Eva?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah,
So
I think the
I'm
same.
going to.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, apologies.
No, go for it.
So I'm going to block my diary for 15 minutes because otherwise I may not do it. So that's what I will do. And I do have a quick question. So maybe after everybody has gone, I can ask my question.
Certainly, Eva. Thank you. So you block your diary. Good.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Helen, yeah?
Okay. Shall I speak?
Yes, please, Helen.
Okay. For me, I'll be at work tomorrow, at work school. So that's really busy, full on. For me, the best time is this time because I have a little one. He's 2 years old, nearly 2 years old. He goes to bed at this time, 7 o'clock. So that for me is my time when I can really pinpoint and sort of wind down, and it's the best time for me because it's full on for me during the day. From the moment I wake up, 6 o'clock, blah, 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 done. If I have a moment at work when I've got a bit of time, then I will do it. But I think this is the best time for me.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sally and Nikki, yes?
So do you think that it is best to block a 5 or 10 minutes out, or to just sort of just see what happens during the day? I feel probably I'm sort of a bit mixture of both. I like the idea of having a little notebook. I do like writing with a pen. So if something comes to me, but then I also think I should definitely make sure I block out 10 minutes, because otherwise it'll get to 10 o'clock at night and think, oh, I haven't done any today.
This is because what's happening is, you are reprogramming yourself. It's very easy to forget to think about that little exercise. So it may help to actually set a time aside, just as a reminder, and then you and actually write down anything which comes to you during the day as it pops up. That's very often a good combination of both.
Okay.
And Sally? Yeah, I think I have to do it first thing in the morning. Otherwise, it just won't happen. And and often I've got more energy in the morning as well, so I can I feel like I can give it more of my attention. But I need to set aside definitely 15 minutes. And I think you're absolutely right, because I think the brain behind the scenes is also kind of carrying on that process all through the day. So I think a little notebook would be a really good idea to jot something down, so I can come review it as well.
Yeah, that's very helpful. Or I, for example, put a sticker somewhere, a couple of stickers, just to remind myself to do it. I mean, everybody has got different ways, but it's good to have a reminder. Or I also put in my alarm clock on my phone, just to make sure. Okay, I want to do this. Just to train our mind to actually think about something, because it's easily gone. So are we all set? Yeah.
Could I please just ask very quickly the question, because it brought a thought when you said that it's very interesting to observe when somebody's behavior really triggers you, because that means they're opposite. Their behavior is opposite of your beliefs. So I have a colleague who lies constantly. He believes his own lies, so he is in his own reality. What he does and what he says are two different things. But it really triggers me, and that is because I have a belief about keeping contracts or not lying. So this is what I would write down, that I believe that people should say the truth or something like that. Yes.
Yeah. You yes, because a belief is, I believe that that I to speak the truth.
You keep your word. I think you keep your word is probably my belief.
Or that one. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so outright that belief. Now I understand. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Now this is a positive belief. Yeah, that's not a limiting belief. Now you know that for you it's important that people around you speak the truth. If somebody doesn't honor that, that triggers you. That triggers you. So now that you become aware of it, you know, we can't change the other person. We can only change ourselves. So we now need to start taking full ownership of ourselves and our reaction, because we cannot change other people. That's not possible. But we can change ourselves.
So it's just acknowledging that, yes, this triggers me and I choose not to react because it's a different sphere. Yeah.
Exactly, Eva. Acknowledging, exactly. I acknowledge it triggers me and I am staying present and I will not be triggered. Exactly.
Okay. I got it. That was very helpful. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you. Now, are we set up for the week? So it's we start tomorrow and we reconvene next Tuesday. So after the 7 days. What we will do next week is we will review the process. We will review any insights, any aha moments, how you managed to turn limited beliefs with the affirmation into positive beliefs, how this is going. And then we will have an introduction about the topic of week 2. In the meantime, we stay in touch if you wish on the platform. So let us just have some fun exploring ourselves. We mustn't take ourselves too serious. We don't need to believe what we believe. I think that's a good start, isn't it?
Yes.
I think if we nothing else to take away from tonight, I think that's already a good start. We don't have to believe what we believe. We can let that go, that belief.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
No, I just think already it's empowering that we're actually doing something, and it is exciting to uncover a lot of things and be able just to, gosh, it's mind-blowing already, to be fair, because you just don't do stuff like this all the time. I don't. I mean, other people maybe on this course have done other courses and done stuff. I've done a little bit, but it is exciting, and as you've said, you've already set us on the right pathway, and I appreciate it greatly.
Thank you very much. Thank
you.
Have a lovely evening.
And
I'm
you.
looking forward to seeing you next Tuesday. And yes, let's have a good time.
Yes.
Take care. Okay. Thank you for everything. Good night. Okay. Bye.
Take
Bye.
care.
Thanks,
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you very much.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Have a good week, everybody.
And to you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, to you too.